It was dark. No, I mean, it was really dark. And not just because the sun hadn't come up yet. It was the kind of darkness I had never known before. The kind of darkness that creeps into your soul and smothers it. Oh, I had known dark days before. Of course I had. I remember, though not very clearly, the days of possession, when I didn't know what I was saying or what I was doing or where I was going or even who I was. But all that changed. He spoke. And with his words, the darkness was lifted. I became a new woman. I had a new life, a life of adventure. It was as if who I was linked with who he is. And for the first time in my life, I knew life had a purpose. Oh, the Galilean countryside never seemed so green, and the lake was so blue. And oh, the meals we shared, there was joy and there was laughter, and there were serious moments too. And he spoke words of power and authority. Not always easy words to hear or always comforting words, but words that burned right into your heart and soul. And you knew, I knew, I would never be the same. So we came to Jerusalem. You should have seen the crowds. There were people everywhere in Galilee. People shouting and singing at the top of their lungs as he rode into the city on a donkey. Hosanna! Blessed be the King of Israel. We knew this was going to be big. And things were going to change forever. How couldn't they change? We had heard him speak, and we were changed. Jerusalem would hear him speak, and it would be changed. The whole world would be changed. There was no limit to what could happen. The next few days went by in a blur of anticipation and excitement. And then the night fell, and the soldiers came. And we just watched. His mother, Mary, and her sister, and the others. We just watched. Hopeless. Helpless. We couldn't do anything. Where was Peter? Where was Matthew? Where were the others? Only John was nearby. And we just watched as he was crucified. And as he hung there in pain and suffering, he spoke words of comfort to his mother, words of love and concern. And then he died in the darkness. And as he died, he spoke. It is finished. I know the sun came out later that day, but it was still so dark. Mary and I and Joseph and Nicodemus, we went to the tomb. And we watched as they lay his body on a bed of rock. They rolled a stone in front of the entrance. And that light was gone forever. 3 days go by. 3 days. 3 days of sorrow and anguish and anger. I was so angry. 3 days of no hope. 3 days of despair. Then, the first day of the week, And it is still so dark. It's early. I find myself walking in the garden path to the tomb. Why am I even here? How could I be anywhere else? As the dawn breaks, I near the tomb, but I notice something. Something's wrong. The stone is moved from the tomb. Okay, I know it's the right tomb. I know it is. Oh no. Something awful must have happened. So I run to get Peter and the others and tell them what happened. Two of them run back and they leave me there alone in my fear and confusion. I get there a little later than they do, and Peter says the tomb is empty. The burial cloth is just lying there. What's that supposed to mean? And then they leave. They go home. They leave me there. What had happened? And in the dark night of my soul, I wept. My heart was broken and I could do nothing else. I wept for broken hearts and lost dreams and broken hopes. I wept for him and for me. Oh, I wept for me. Never had I felt so alone. Something made me look up and I walked over towards the tomb. Trembling, I looked inside because I wanted to make sure. And there were two men there. Where did they come from? They asked me, "Why are you crying?" Why was I crying? Because my Lord is gone. I don't know what's happened to him. That's why I'm crying. My Lord is gone. There was another man to the side, and I don't know, maybe he was the gardener or something, and so I turned and I looked at him, and maybe he would know where Jesus' body was, so I asked him. And he spoke. Never had one word meant so much. He spoke. A voice of love and of comfort, of majesty and power. He spoke. Mary. For the first time in my life, my name seemed to really mean something. Something beyond the ordinary, the normal, the physical. Mary. This was Jesus. Oh no, not dead, not by any means, but alive. More alive than I had ever known him. More alive, more real than I had ever seen him before. My Lord had returned. He spoke. And I wanted to scream, I wanted to shout, I wanted to sing. The very thrill of the moment took my breath away. So now, I speak. I shout. Jesus is alive. I have seen him.